Yeah, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Kind of appreciate all the input that we've been getting lately and suggestions. We've got some awesome suggestions and we have some awesome videos coming up. So stay tuned to the channel. I'm out here this morning at Riverside Hill Farms, the Butlers at Croton. We're gonna do the sun's just coming up. It's supposed to rain today. We're going to do a little video on their cattle. They have a multifaceted operation here, and they have a unique case here. So I thought it would be good to come out and do a little video. What do you got here?
So this girl was a late catcher. She was in the other group of cows, so she had a calf yesterday.
Nice little heifer.
Yeah. So she'll fit in. She'll fit in nice.
How are you, Mama?
She was originally a feedlot heifer that
Was she?
ended up having a calf last year.
A surprise.
So she's a pretty good cow.
Nice little calf. We might as well wake these calves up, Josh.
Yeah. So this is all the spring group cows. Right now they're separated between colors. So all the blacks are on this side and all the colored cows are on that side. So that way when we breed them, we run two different bulls.
Oh, you're getting ready to breed.
Yeah, so they're in now. They just went in on Monday, so. But all these calves were born in March, April type deal, so they're coming along pretty good. So and you can kind of see them tag different. They have all the heifers that we want to keep have a separate tag. And so the first number is the year, so 20. And then the next number we just start one,
yeah.
2, then kind of go up, and different color tags for different colored bulls, and that way you know who sired who. That's Chrome. That's the big one of the big.
Hey,
bulls.
Chrome. Going to see one of the ladies today?
Yeah.
Open.
Either that or he's going. He likes to fight with the other bulls. So.
Is there two bulls in here?
Yeah, there's another bull on the other side of the gate there.
Oh.
So.
That calf's got a sore eye.
Yeah, we got one that he's kind of half blind for whatever reason.
So when you're picking heifers, you kind of pick them kind of based on their mother and...
Yeah, so the selection starts at birth. So if the mom's a good mom, she's not crazy, she's, has a good udder, she just throws a nice calf, you don't have to help her, we'll put a tag in there. There's a couple other ones, if we don't like them, we put a different, like a red tag in it, and that tells us we want to get rid of them. And then once they hit that 700 pounds and we can really get a look at the frame on them, we'll go through and pick what we want.
So you've kind of predetermined and then you do a later selection.
Yeah.
So when do you go to pasture, or do you?
So we do it a little different than a lot of people. We graze ours a lot in the fall and in the spring on corn stalks, and now we want to try and work with some cover crops and grazing on cover crops as much as we can. So.
And not go to pasture?
No, we don't have much for pasture ground, and it costs too much to fence everything. And back here, it's awful hard to put a fence around a farm that's worth $20,000 an acre or more.
And actually, it's easier to bring the feed to the cows than cows to the feed.
Yeah, we can rotate our hay around whatever farm we want, and that's making those tough farms good farms.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we try to do.
The only downfall that I can see is you got to have a little more barn space.
Yeah,
Which,
it's a little more labor too.
yeah.
Like you're feeding every day, where it is nice to kick them out of pasture and not have to do anything for a while. But
you know, with today, it's not like you're using small squares and.
no, and like you take a barn like this. This is like standing outside under a shade tree, right? So
That's a big cow.
yeah, that was originally another feedlot heifer. There's not really any special genetic or breed in the cows. We spend our money on the bulls. The bulls half your crop. We find as far as the frame trait and your carcass trait, it really takes off your bulls, not your cows. So you spend your money on your bull, it's gonna a far better return than spending a lot of money on a cow. So we got a lot of really good mothers. You know, they drop a calf and it's up and going. We don't have to help them. So
And quiet.
yeah,
Like these cows are quiet. I'm a stranger here. And
they don't seem to mind.
they don't care.
No. So this is our feed yard. We have corn distillers, so the byproduct from ethanol.
This is distillers here?
Yeah, there's three different piles here. The pile back in that corner is a wet distiller, and it's really good for your kind of finishing rations. It keeps the moisture in it. And then this stuff that's dry, and this is like an off spec.
Oh, yeah.
So
It could be wet. It could be hot.
yeah, it's like half and half. It'll crust over, and all that will keep inside pretty good. So we also have grain corn that we grind up. It's in the back corner over there. Can't quite see it from here.
Yeah.
And then there's, I think, 5 different kinds of hay at the moment. And we'll also use straw if we have to. So a finishing ration is made up from some kind of roughage, so either straw, hay, and then we'll add silage. So we try to keep it about 50% silage, 50% grain corn at the last stage. And then your mineral, if we happen to have hominy, so a byproduct of cornmeal, and we'll feed that as well if we run short on corn or something. So the cows get a lot of pretty much everything. So we'll mix straw. We have first cut hay. We've used sorghum, Sudan grass, peas and oats. We've got new seeding hay from Saskatchewan right now. That's got canola and everything in it.
From Saskatchewan?
Yeah, it's...
How did that end up here?
Oh, we're a little short this year.
Oh, and hay, so you got to load in?
Yeah, so the guy is from Stratford and he farms in Saskatchewan, so he had a load and so he brought it down. But cows are amazing animals. They can take pretty much any kind of roughage. If you balance it right, they thrive on it. So we feed corn stalks as well.
Oh, did you bale a lot of stocks?
Yeah,
I wanted to see the silage.
150 bales or so, and we baled them wet, so they'll kind of ensile a bit, soften up, and the cows can...
So did you bale them in the fall or in the spring?
In the fall. So,
the silage is keeping good.
yeah, it's...
Jesus, who packed this? Boy, it's hard.
Emma.
Emma packed it.
Yeah. Wasn't even pregnant this year when she did it.
I was telling somebody what a good job you do of packing.
Well, it's a team effort, I guess.
Oh.
So we put a lot of weight up on it, and you only get one chance to do it right, and so you might as well do it.
You got to get the air out, don't you? That's
yeah.
the most important thing with silage.
So as you can see, like there's, what, 3 inches of crust up there?
And what do you got here? 15 feet?
Yeah.
3 inches on 15 feet. They never see that in the feed bunk.
No, you won't. And like that's as hard as can be. And if you stick, it was 85 degrees, been 90 degrees all week.
Yeah, and it's
face
cool.
is cool.
Yeah.
So it pays to take the time to do it.
So that batch was just for the young ones.
Yeah, well, this is just a feedlot. So this is kind of the finishing ration. So that's kind of what it looks like. Say they're about 10 to 15 pounds of grain corn, 15 pounds of silage, 10 pounds of wet distillers and 2 pounds of straw. If we have hay, I'd rather use hay in it, but last year with the yields were down and it was just, we don't have the hay to put it in. Up till, it's probably the last, 4 months of this ration, that just gets all your fat cover on them, gets your marbling in them, and that's kind of where your flavor is in them. Up to that point, we feed a lot of grass, so mostly hay. Like in the small calves, they're probably 50-60% of a hay, whether that be peas and oats or bale it, wrap, second cut alfalfa, and then the rest silage and hardly any grain corn. Just a lot healthier for them. That's kind of mimics them on a pasture, right, is eating all that grass.
And then they grow versus putting on.
Yeah, they don't get little tiny 800-pound fat things. So
yeah,
it's you got to grow them to get them. Basically, you want them that 1,200 pounds before you can start pushing the corn to them and putting that extra fat on them. So, and if you tried to feed them this ration from calves, they'd be
done at 800.
Yeah, and they'd burn their stomachs out.
Yeah.
So when they get bigger, they can handle it. And like I say, I don't like pushing the grain too much on them. I find it makes a better end product in the meat if you can keep that grain level down a bit and feed kind of the more silage, especially with a lot of the calves we have. You can finish them on that higher silage diet. It's a lot healthier. We're in the business of selling to the consumer themselves, so we have to make that product,
If it's not right, they're going to blame you.
Yeah, and, like we're raising them purely just for the quality of the meat. We're not raising them just to put as many pounds on as we possibly can.
So these cows will calve in the fall?
Yeah, these are August calving cows. We weaned them about a month ago. The calves come off. So they'll stay over here until about 2 weeks before calving. All of our handling system is over here. So it's nice to keep them here until we can get them all vaccinated and run them through and then take them to the calving barn. So, and then they'll go on corn stalks or whatever else we can put them on. We like to breed out in the field. Breeding in the field is so much easier on the bulls. We were having a lot of trouble with the bulls hurting themselves, whether in the hip or the ankles or something on the concrete, all trying to breed there. So breed in the field helps a lot. Now that we have the full covered barn, it's a lot better. We can keep a manure pack in there to keep the footing on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, without a cover over, it's pretty hard. You get a 2-inch rain and you got slop, and it takes so much straw to soak that up.
What we found is the calves did so much better once we covered that. With that barn being so high and so tall and the center cap being open, they get lots of sunlight as it is. But we found with the calves, they go out and eat in the bunks with the cows in the rainy, cold days, and they just would not do near as well as they do now. Now the calves are consistent. When we wean, they're that 500 to 700 pounds type deal, depending on the birthdays, and they just do so much better. Some cows can really thrive outside in harsh conditions, but I guess ours is too big a suck, so they don't like it.
Okay, well, I'm out here in the retail store, and I've got Emma, which I'm thinking Emma would be the E and J&E meats. Would I be right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
We do get asked though, so we have to clarify sometimes. It's just okay.
So tell us about the retail side of the business here.
Yeah, so the retail side has actually really taken off for us, even from inception going forward. We didn't really know it was a demand or something that was missing in our community and in our area. So when we started, we launched our business on Facebook, and it started taking off immediately. And then within 4 months of launching our business on Facebook, we built a retail location, because for us, that was kind of the natural next step, and we're here on the farm. We both work on farm full time, and we also have small children, so this was kind of our way of being able to progress our business and then adding more flexibility for us as well too. So built an on-farm store here on our farm right outside our house, so we can kind of keep an eye on it, and it's been really successful so far. We're really happy with it.
And then along come our friend COVID-19.
And it's so topsy-turvy, because some businesses are really suffering because of COVID-19, and it's very serious, and business owners are wondering how they're going to pay their rent, and they're struggling. And then there's us in the nature of the business that we're in, and our business just exploded. Like, our business doubled, tripled. I don't even think you could put it into words how busy we became instantaneously. There was no growth, there was no margins or advertising that made it happen. It literally just happened. So our on-farm retail store is closed to the public for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, keep everybody safe, keep everybody healthy, but also inventory management, because we were already doing online ordering and deliveries and offering that aspect of our business. And then so when COVID happened, it just took off even more, because that's sort of the trend of what everybody else was doing. So luckily we already had that business model in place, so we closed our store to keep everybody safe and healthy, and then we just moved to strictly online orders and sales. So as far as inventory management goes, all of our inventory is being sold online, and then through contactless pickup here on farm or delivery. So that being kind of said, we couldn't really have the store open even if we wanted to, because we rely on the local abattoir and their availability to process our animals and cut them for us, and they're also swamped, and they're also busy.
They're having trouble too. You just can't get booked into them for the next beef. They're so booked back, and now everybody's trying to push all this local, because with COVID-19 and the plant shutting down, it's made a huge backlog. So now everybody's trying to push local stuff, and we're glad we had our foot in the door with this business ahead of time, because that kind of gets you a little more priority with those butcher shops to be able to keep going. So
yeah, and our abattoir's been fantastic. They have handled everything, and they don't just supply us, they also supply a lot of other farm gate businesses in Chatham, Kent, surrounding area as well too. And then they've just been fantastic as far as we can say. They've been really great at kind of keeping everybody going on top of all the demands that have been coming in for their retail store as well. So we've been really fortunate that they've been able to work with us through this whole thing, and hopefully going forward.
It's also opened up the eyes of the consumer that food doesn't show up on a shelf overnight, and you're really seeing that farm to fork connection now, and people, they want to go to the producers, they want to go buy their food from where it's being raised, and you're seeing that mentality really pop in this with the COVID-19.
So that little calf we saw that was born yesterday, it's not ready to eat
not yet.
Tomorrow yet.
No, that takes 2 years before that gets to your plate. So
Yeah.
And Emma, you've just blown my whole theory on why your retail business has exploded. I thought, being here 6-8 weeks ago doing and if anybody's seen the video on the Butler lambs, I figured that the Soybean man would have pushed your retail.
I thought so too. You give me all the credit. That's fine.
that definitely helps. Yeah, we definitely thank you for that.
And here it's the pandemic, and I thought it was a Soybean man all the time.
We can go with that. We can go with that.
Yeah, so our on-farm retail store, going forward into the future, we're hoping to reopen. Things are going to level out, and things are going to be better managed kind of going forward. I think everybody in the producer, any kind of agriculture industry got hit kind of right away. So everybody's sort of trying to recoup from that initial, even for us, back in March, that's kind of when we took the initial hit of, we got cleared out, and we've been getting cleared out ever since. So going forward, we already had the animals kind of in place, anticipating our busy season and everything. So going forward, eventually we are going to reopen our storefront. Right now, our business model of ordering online and then doing deliveries and pickups, it's working for us really well. And for our lifestyle, there's 2 of us and his parents, and that's it. We don't have any employees or anything that helps us out. So for us, it's been actually kind of nice to have the flexibility and be able to still interact with our customers customers and get them their products, but then also keep all aspects of the operation running. Because there's a lot of balls in the air at once.
The other thing, this pandemic isn't going to be over tomorrow.
No. I would say we have at least another year of going at this.
A year would be wonderful. I think if we're out of this in a couple of years, we'll be lucky.
Yeah.
We've got to get a vaccine, and everybody's got to get it. And we're lucky being in agriculture because everybody has to eat.
Yeah.
If you are in tourism, not everybody needs a holiday.
You're going to be hurt hard by this.
Or entertainment, anybody in the entertainment industry, you know, if you're a photographer, a DJ, or flower shop, right? Like those are kind of the first ones to get hit immediately.
Even
so.
YouTubers.
Yeah.
Well, the benefit is everybody's watching YouTube and TV now, right?
Yeah, and the only thing, it has made it harder for us.
Yeah.
Like, I have to really watch where I go.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not going to Kent Bridge to the greenhouse.
No.
Maybe not. Maybe not right now. You can drive by, wait for the road.
Well, and that's the problem. Like, in the livestock world, we can control those type of diseases very well because we can isolate everybody. We can quarantine, like, way better in the livestock world than we can for human people. Because, like, people don't realize how serious some of this stuff can get. And yeah, you know, we have to kind of build our immunities to it, but we also have to have the healthcare to be able to support if we do have an outbreak. So it's just trying to keep people conscious that can really happen. It's hard. So.
Well, I think this has opened a lot of people's eyes to what can happen.
Yeah.
You know, the pandemic. It's not just our country or China or Italy. It's every country in the world.
Worldwide, yeah.
Like it, and it's the invisible. Like, you know, I don't want to get close to you, and I don't want to get close to you. I don't want to get close to anybody.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think though entrepreneurs are like resilient though. I think that people will find a way. This is also really new. It's really fresh for everybody, not even like in our industry, but in every industry that's been affected. And I think people will find a way to adapt and move forward and, you know, alter their business as best they can so that they can still provide for their families and everything as well too. So I hope to see the entrepreneurial spirit just really like rise up. Like now's our time to shine. If you started a business on your own, you know, you can do it, you can keep it going, you can adapt. Like if you really just settle down and put your mind to it, like it can happen for you even in all of this in some aspect.
One thing I wanted to cover too when I was out here, in the beef business, it's unbelievable how, and we saw it when we were over at where the feed isn't being made, all these byproducts that you have, you know, the backstory, like, you know, your wet distillers is a product of the ethanol business, and there's so many byproducts that the cattle can convert to meat.
You take anything in your life, basically, whether it's rubbing, like right now, rubbing out like hand sanitizer, ethanol, like that's your distillers. These small breweries all popping up, they all have brewer's grain. That's, you know, without going to livestock, that's destined for landfill. Like I said, the hominy out of cornmeal and corn oil and that kind of stuff, there's waste there. The byproduct of that, you have soybean meal, vegetable production, everything. Like pretty well any process has
is a byproduct.
And with cattle, the way that a cow is designed, they can take those products and really utilize them.
They're the perfect recycler.
Yeah, exactly. And just because we call it a byproduct we're not saying it's it's junk. It's not. It's just we're not capable of being able to use it or digest it, and we just can't do anything with it, but they can. So like the distillers is really high in protein. It's decent energy, and it smells sweet. It's a beautiful feed for the cattle. The cattle will absolutely love it. So why put it in a landfill when we can go do something else with it? So.
Well, that's been good. Anyway, I just wanted to take a minute and thank you guys for taking the time out of your busy day. I know it's a busy day.
You got here nice and early though, so this was our kickstart.
Yeah, well, we got lots of balls in the air too, and I just wanted to thank everybody that's viewed this video today. And if you've got a minute, hit the subscribe button and send us a comment. It's the comments that we get that give us the ideas to come out to places like J&E Meats and see what they're doing. And I just wanted to thank all the people for the comments and suggestions, and we'll get back to you on the next video.
Thank you.
Thank you.